Fantastic. Well, we'll hope to hear more about what you guys are doing with Diablo 3, but I know there are tons of questions coming in over Twitter for you, Rob, from the fans. And first thing we should get out there before we get tons of questions here on Twitter, you guys are not really saying much about the new unannounced MMO here this year, right?
Nothing specific, at least.
Right.
I mean, I can talk in generalities about how development's going.
One thing I'd ask you about is we ask you about it every year. How have things changed on that project from where we were last year versus this year? Are you guys closer to knowing what the game is? Is it more fun? I mean, what's the state of the development on it?
Well, the development's going really well. You know, I'd say that we're desperately trying to kind of get through all of our pre-production R&D phase of the game and try to move into more of a production sort of phase.
Okay.
You know, so that's like our biggest goal. The biggest thing that's probably changed, the team is just getting much, much bigger. I mean, I think this time next year we had about 40 to 50 developers on the project, and now we're getting up near 90.
Oh, wow.
Which sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and that's, you know, getting to be a bigger team. But again, you know, it's such a big game, and it's all brand new technology that it just takes a while before you can really get all the
new
tools.
Game engine, everything is all brand new. Wow.
Yep, everything's pretty much brand new for this one. So, and you know, we have a lot of great developers, a lot of great technology, but you know, we're building it all. And the biggest thing about when you're building an MMO, you know, it's going to have a lot of content in it. It's all about like your tools. So, you know, getting all those tools into place so the artists and designers can really do their job. That's really what we're trying to get done now. And then hopefully as we move into next year, we can really start building out, you know, the game in earnest.
And also, you said it's, you know, it's a new sort of game world, new franchise. So, I mean, do you have a good sense of sort of what that franchise is and what the hook is of the game? Have you defined that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, that was been defined for a long time now. And, you know, what happened early on was we'd get in a room together, you know, a bunch of my creative guys from across all the different teams. And we'd kind of come up with different pitches and pitch different games. And when this game kind of started solidifying, this is the one that really got everyone in the room nodding their head. You know, so we're super excited about when we finally do announce it, because we think people are going to be really excited about it and not really expect what they see coming from us this time.
Oh, wow. All right. Well, that's a tease, so we'll see when that happens. But good to hear you guys are working hard on it.
One of the questions that has been coming in through Twitter in a couple different ways is people asking, are you worried at all about the new game cannibalizing? Is it going to be pulling from WoW to play the new unannounced MMO? Is this a totally new audience that you're targeting?
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, we are making games for the Blizzard audience. So there's certainly going to be, I think, a lot of crossover between all the games, just as you kind of see World of Warcraft players are playing StarCraft 2, and I'm sure a lot of them are going to end up playing Diablo 3. So I'd say like the new game probably will pull from some of the same audience, but it is different enough where I think, you know, there'll be a lot of new fans too.
You know, we celebrated the World, not the World of Warcraft. We celebrated
the one thing I was just asking about console off that. You talked about a new engine and stuff for the new MMO. Are you thinking about consoles for that too? Are you thinking multi-platform? Because now it seems like you know, there's mobile platforms, there's console, there's all these things, and for a next-gen MMO, I would think would probably touch multiple platforms, right?
It's something we're really excited about exploring. But the tricky thing is, you know, already with the game, it's going to be huge. Yeah. And just trying to get all the technology into place and the rest, it's something we are thinking about, but it's something that's a little bit further down the line. Not to mention the fact that I think if we were going to do a console release for that, it's probably going to be in the next generation of consoles, which we really don't know any of the details about yet.
Or so you say.
Yeah. So the way I kind of look at that is focus on the PC and keep our options open, and then once we get a little bit further in development, I think we can start seriously thinking about console, mobile, iPads, and who knows what technology is going to be around a year or 2 years from now.
That's true.
There's, you know, being project.
Is that an extra thing you think for BlizzCon, or too early to tell?
I would say it's probably too early to tell, but probably unlikely. You know, the thing for me is, I think in the past, we've announced all of our games a little bit too early.
Yep.
You know, and then we end up, you know, BlizzCon after BlizzCon talking about the same stuff.
Keep the powder dry, Rob.
Yeah, and you know, it's like, I think we just get ahead of ourselves, get super excited, oh, we want to show our game.
Yep.
And I think now what we want to do on this one is see how long can we hold out before we announce it.
Well, you've been good with no leaks so far, Rob Pardo. Thanks so much for hanging with us. We're heading